Hey everybody, it's Lizzy. I am so excited to be doing this live version of Badass Manifesting. I have been wanting to do something like this for a long time, and I'm doing this on Facebook Live and Instagram Live. So we'll see how this goes. So please, if you're a part of this, please let me know. And if you have any questions towards the end, feel free to go ahead and type those in. So basically, the reason I wanted to do this video is because I've gotten to this point in my own life and in my own desire to create a badass life, an amazing life that I love, that I've realized that there's these things that we need to know about manifesting. And in the work that I do, I'm a coach and I work a lot with people about teaching them how to manifest. And it's kind of like an underlying theme that just comes up with a lot of people I talk to, a lot of people I interact with, and a lot of conversations I've had lately. And it's all about people wanting to create certain things in their life, whether it's money, whether it's a relationship, whether it is a house, whether it's, a certain way you want to feel, whether it's a certain thing that's going on in your body, whether it's, some kind of goal that you have. And people are just wondering how to create that for themselves, how to let themselves have that experience in their life. And what I've realized is I consider myself an empowerment coach for women. I'm an intuitive empowerment coach. I help women access and tap into the divine energy that we all have within in order to manifest whatever it is that we're looking for. And what comes up is there's a lot of blocks that come up. There's a lot of karma stuff. There's a lot of past life stuff. There's a lot of this life, trauma and belief systems and all the stuff that we have to pay attention to that needs to let it come up and out. So badass manifesting to me is learning how to take responsibility for ourselves in this lifetime, in this moment right now, and how to own that and how to say, yes, I understand that I am co-creating my life right now with the way that I am showing up, the way that I am thinking, the way that I am vibrating, the way that I am speaking. And I know that I'm going to have compassion for myself and know that I'm not exactly where I want to be in this moment yet. But I'm going to get there, and I am dedicated and committed to being so focused and so clear about the way that I want to feel, the way that I want to show up in the world, the way I want the world to show up for me, that I'm going to do whatever it takes to get myself to that level. And so that's what a badass manifester does. A badass manifester knows that you work co-creatively with the universe. And the badass manifester knows that your vibration, your thoughts, your belief system, the food you eat, the books you read, the people you're around, all affect the way that you manifest. And now, to me, manifesting needs to be defined because people talk about it in very different ways. People talk about it in terms of, let's just say the law of attraction or the law of momentum. There's all different ways that people talk about manifesting. And a lot of what I think has been shown in the past, 10 years or so is true. It is very true to have a goal and work towards your goal and be focused on that. But what I think is what we're shifting into, and what an intuitive reading that I had with somebody last year told me, was we're learning more. If you look at the ascension process and what's going on in the world, and a lot of what's been talked about in the past year or two, is that the divine feminine is becoming awakened. And we can see that in the media with all of this, Me Too things, with all of the stuff going on about, the women coming forward and sharing their experience and saying no more. That a lot of that has to do with the divine feminine and tapping into that power. Now, what does that have to do with manifesting? Well, when we manifest, a lot of what I've noticed is that people aren't paying attention to, people that I've seen, and myself included, are I want this thing. I'm going to work towards this thing, and I'm going to have a vision board. I'm going to just think about this thing that I want, whether it's let's just say money. I want money, 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 money. And I'm going to focus on money. And that's all I'm going to do is I'm going to work hard, and I'm going to take action steps, and I'm going to do this thing to make that money. When all this other stuff might be manifesting in your life, but except for money, right? I've had that experience before where I was so focused on this one thing showing up, everything else was showing up that I had thought about before, but except that one thing that I was focusing on in that moment. And that's so frustrating. There's nothing more frustrating than, not being able to bring in the thing that you're really wanting. You're like, why is this happening to me? Well, what I've noticed for myself is that because I'm trying too hard, I am not relaxing. I'm not surrendering. I am still in resistance. I'm creating more tension. You can think about it as if you're at the gym and you're like working hard and running. It's going to tense up your body. And that's the same thing that happens when we focus too hard on one specific thing that we're trying to manifest. And so to me, learning to be a badass manifester means also learning that we are co-creating. We are not doing it just ourselves. We need to work in communion and hand in hand with the universe, with our higher self, with our intuition, with what is in the highest and best for everybody, not just what we want, right? And so when I surrender to that, when I let go, my body, my energy, my manifestation channels relax and open. And I am open to receive whatever it is that's in my highest and best that will fulfill that desire that I have. Now that takes some practice, and that takes some, trust in the universe and trust in ourselves and trust in, the process and surrendering the outcome. And a lot of this can be really scary if you're not used to that, right? Like I grew up in a way where I didn't know how to trust people. I didn't know how to surrender. I didn't know how to trust myself. It took me a long time to learn how to do that, like how to really get in touch with my own intuition and trust it. Even still now, sometimes I'll second guess my intuition and then be like, oh, why did I do that? And I teach people this. This is what I do professionally. So it's very human and it's very common. So don't beat yourself up over that. And also like maybe you grew up in a way where you haven't been able to really trust other people and trust the universe because things happened to, maybe in your childhood or maybe in your adulthood that you lost trust in the universe, whether it was some kind of trauma or some kind of great loss or some kind of financial loss. People, could lose their home or file bankruptcy and be like, why did this happen? And I'm losing trust in, the divine and God and the universe, however that, spirit, whatever. And maybe you've lost trust in other people. Like there's a lot of reasons that people, humans have trust issues, right? Almost everybody has trust issues. That's why there's, self-help books and relationship coaches and all kinds of talk shows that, used to exist more because a lot of humans have trust issues. It's fine. You can have trust issues. Like, it's just the way that we are sometimes. But there's also, and part of being a badass is realizing and acknowledging that is just a figment of our imagination. It's just a result of trauma. It's a result of a crappy experience, and it's valid and it's real, but it's also not helpful. And it's not going to keep us moving forward to manifesting the life of our dreams, right? So we have to look at, to be a badass manifester, you have to have the courage and the wisdom and the ability to surrender and trust the universe, or else it's just like having, like if you go to the restaurant and you're ordering something and you're like, I want spaghetti or a pizza or, some kind of stir fry for dinner, but you put like what you want on a piece of paper and you're giving it to the waiter, but you're not letting the waiter take it from you. The waiter needs to go back and give it to the chef so the chef knows what to make to then bring you your food, right? But if we're not trusting the universe, we're holding on to that ticket. We're not letting the waiter go into the back and bring it to, the powers that be that then are like, oh, okay, Lizzy wants this thing. Lizzy wants to feel happy. Let's come up with this way that she's going to be, happy, and then we'll give it to her. Because I'm holding on to it because I think that I know what's best. I think that I know how to create that in my life. I think this person's going to make me happy. I think the situation's going to make me happy. I think if I get this at this moment in this way, that'll make me happy. So unless I get that, I don't want it, And that's just me being a little defiant and a little resistant. But when I let go and I'm like, I just want to be happy, like whatever that looks like, dear universe, like help me be happy. Here you go. Take my order, whatever you need to do. I'm just going to sit here and I'm going to do what I know to do on a daily basis to keep myself happy. I'm going to go running. I'm going to spend time with friends. I'm going to get outside, get fresh air. I'm going to meditate. I'm going to go on Instagram. I'm going to post for my business. I'm going to listen to some good music. I'm going to keep myself at this happy vibe. Because wherever we're vibrating, you know, the universe can bring us things that match that vibe. So if I keep myself in the happy vibe and I let go of the attachment to the outcome of what I've asked for, the universe is going to bring me more things that will keep me in that happy vibe. Now, that's a very short way of describing a really complicated process sometimes. So I said it in a way where it's just like, oh, just let go and just say this and just do this. And it's not always that easy because we are, as humans, we can get attached to outcomes, right? I was recently attached to a very specific outcome. I wanted this person to show up in my life in a specific way. And I was attached to that happening and it caused a lot of pain in my heart. And then finally I had to realize like, whoa, this is actually me being attached. I'm not being a badass manifester because I'm not trusting the universe and I'm not letting the universe show up and bring me, you know, what it is that I'm looking for, which is a sense of love, a sense of respect, a sense of support, you know, all those things that I was looking for in a friendship. I was not getting from this person, and I was hurting myself by being attached to it coming from this person. And finally, I was graced with the awareness of that, and so I was able to let go. And then I've received that in other ways from other people. And it's really amazing to me because I'm like, oh, reminder to self, don't be too attached to outcomes, right? I have to let go. But it took me weeks and maybe a month to even figure out how to do that. And then finally, when I did it, I was like, oh yeah. This, you know, this is like awesome. This is what happened. So anyway, my point in saying that is I'm not sharing this with you today to say that you should already know how to do this. And if you're not doing it, there's something wrong. I tend to hear that in my head when sometimes I hear people talking about things. So I want to make that clear. I'm in no way, shape, or form thinking or saying that you should already know how to do this. I had to learn how to do this. Sometimes the real hard way and sometimes a little bit of an easier way. And most of the time when it was an easier way is because I was working with a teacher, a mentor, or a coach. And I was reading some kind of book and I was like listening to something. So it like really helped bring it back into my mind. I didn't come up with this myself, you know, like it really was a divine thing. So that is one of the things I really wanted to put out there is the idea of, if nothing else, if you don't get anything else from this little video, it's that you are so capable of attracting to you exactly what you want. You just don't know necessarily what it's going to look like. So you're going to do yourself and everyone else around you a huge favor by really relaxing and really working on the belief that the universe has an infinite number of ways of bringing to you what it is you're asking for. So think about one thing that you're wanting in your life right now. Think about like whether it's like a situation, a person, place, or thing, like whatever. And I want you to write that down. And then I want you to write down, dear universe, thank you for bringing me this person, place, or thing. Thank you for making sure it's in my highest and best, and I totally surrender and turn this over to you. Thank you, universe, for bringing me this or something greater. And then just let it go. And that is one of the most valuable things that you will end up doing. Because, and what I'm going to be doing more videos about this, and I'm going to be doing something next week, which is really, really exciting. I'm going to be doing a little mini video every day, Monday through Friday, that's going to help you create a process, a daily practice to open up, to surrender, to strengthen your faith in yourself, to strengthen your faith in the universe so you can be a badass manifester. Because what I've realized is that we're manifesting things all the time, all the time, all the time. We're not always manifesting what is healthiest for us because we're manifesting based on where we've come from. We're manifesting based on our previous experiences. We're manifesting based on what we expect from the universe. We're manifesting based on what we know is possible, which is a very limited amount of what is actually possible, right? I've only lived in, let's say, like 5 different cities. I don't know what it's like to live in other cities, but when I go to a city I've never been to and I expect to find the same thing, like if I go to, let's say, Atlanta and I expect it to be the same as San Diego, that's going to be kind of weird. I'm going to miss out on a lot. I'm just going to do things that I like, try to go, to the beach or like go to these restaurants that I know of in San Diego. And they're not going to really, it's going to be weird. Like I want to open up to what Atlanta has to offer to me. I want to know what are the places in Atlanta, who are the people in Atlanta. Like I want a new experience. And so that's what we're doing when we are turning it over, when we're opening up to infinite possibility rather than pigeonholing ourselves into our into our experience that we've had in this lifetime. So I really want also encourage you to take a daily account of what it is that's in your life and how you've manifested those things. I want you to look at and make a list of for me, it's really easy to get caught up in, I want this specific thing and it hasn't shown up yet, therefore I'm a bad manifester. And I can think about that. But if I take a moment and I look around me and I notice the people that I'm around, the place that I'm with, the house that I live in, the car that I have, all of these things, those are manifestations that I have from the past. And those used to be on my list. Like I used to want the car that I had. I used to really want the friends that I have. I used to really want to live in a place that I live. But I forget about that because I'm human and because I'm hard on myself and because it's just the way that my brain operates sometimes. So I have to make it a daily practice. And that's what a lot of people, I think, look at as gratitude lists. I kind of had a hard time with gratitude lists at first because I was like, I didn't understand what gratitude, how to have gratitude for things when I was not feeling so good. And I realized that gratitude is actually just a conjuncted version of great attitude. And so if I am able to look around and to notice the things in my life that I have manifested, I tend to feel better and my attitude gets a lot better. So to be a badass manifester, it's all about acknowledging the fact that you are manifesting things on the daily. It's about things that you are going to manifest. You're manifesting everything. You're manifesting the people you're around, the traffic you're in or not in. Like every single thing in your life is a product of our thoughts and our stories. And so it's really important to decide right now that you want to continue and you want to manifest the things that you actually want. You want to manifest the things that are healthy for you. You want to manifest the things that are in your highest and best, right? And you want to stop manifesting, I want to stop manifesting things from my past, unhealthy behaviors, things that don't work anymore. I want to stop manifesting, based on my fears, based on my previous experiences. And I want to manifest based on what's best for me now. And the way that I do that is I realize that my manifestation energy, it's kind of like a fire hydrant. If there's no hose on the fire hydrant and you open up the water portal, water's just going to shoot out everywhere and wreak havoc and create a mess. I want to be like a fire, like the fire hydrant with a hose on it, so I can direct where that energy is going, because it's going to go someplace. It's just coming up and out, whether we like it or not. It's just happening, right? And how many times have you found yourself you're like, oh my gosh, why am I in the same situation? Oh my gosh, why does this same person, the same personality and different people keep showing up? Why does the same thing keep happening to me? Well, it's because we're not paying attention to the power of our manifestation energy. So when you make the decision, and that's a part of the empowerment process, is empowering yourself to decide right now that you want to be happy, that you want to be healthy, that you want to be wealthy, and you want to take responsibility for your life, and you want to harness the power of co-creating your life, you can do that. And there's simple and easy daily practices that you can do that help you harness that energy and fully co-create the life that you really want. And that is the definition of a badass manifester. I was having a conversation with my housemate last night about Think and Grow Rich and that whole idea, and how his dad is very wealthy and is very much into the law of attraction, and very much into the idea of, harnessing the power of your thoughts and the power of your vision and your energy. And we just realized we're like, no truly excessively successful person really doesn't believe in themselves. So it's really, really important to have that belief in yourself, to make that decision and make it a non-negotiable. Like, it is a non-negotiable thing to focus into. Just like, I'm obsessed with health, with physical health. I work out constantly. I eat super, super, super excessively healthy. And yet sometimes my thoughts and my mind, I will ingest unhealthy thought forms. I will ingest unhealthy ways of approaching the world in my mind. And so I need to be just as on point, and you need to be just as on point about that as you are about the food that you eat, the clothes that you wear, the makeup that you wear, like whatever it is that you value. You need to be as aware of your mind and how you focus your thoughts and how you focus your energy, or else you're just going to be running. It's like those people who tend to eat really unhealthy and don't exercise, and then they don't feel good in their body. Well, it's like, well, if you start eating healthy and you exercise, then, see how you feel. It's like kind of, 2 + 2 = 4 kind of thing. It's not that difficult. Like, it's not that complicated. Sometimes I get, like, I don't want to offend anybody, but you know what I mean. So when you focus on the things that you're wanting, and that's something that I work a lot with my clients about, is helping them figure out what are the daily steps that they need to take to keep their vibration high, so that they're continually manifesting the things that are on their list. And it's different for everybody. I could go through a bunch of different options right now, like whether it's you wake up and you meditate, you wake up and you pray, you wake up and you go running, you wake up and you just go outside for a minute, you wake up and you play with your kids, you wake up and you listen to some kind of audiobook, you wake up and you listen to a podcast, you wake up and go swimming. Like, there's different things for everybody. Everybody's daily practice is going to look differently, but it generally includes very similar things like meditation, inspirational books and literature, inspirational music, some kind of exercise, very clean eating, good sleep, good rest, putting yourself in a good energy space, being around really cool people. All of that is very, very important, because what that does is it keeps your vibe really high, and it keeps you on a positive trajectory. And so then you're opening yourself up to receive all of the things that you're focusing on. And so that's how you become a really badass manifester, is by creating daily, weekly, monthly habits that open you up to the goodness of the universe, bringing that to you. And I'll be doing different videos talking more about that specifically. But for today, I just wanted to touch on that. And the idea of, it's really, and I've heard this from a number of different sources, and I'm kind of getting chills right now. It's very, very important to look at how you're showing up in your mind right when you wake up in the morning. It's very, very, very important. Just as you're probably not going to wake up and just leave the house and go to work and do whatever it is you do without brushing your teeth, putting on, maybe changing, putting on some clothes, eating, maybe having some tea or water or whatever. Like, there's this process that we do when we wake up to get ourselves ready for our day. Well, we have to do that with our mind too. And like, I like to exercise before I go to work, or I exercise before I do stuff. So that way my energy is at a certain level. And I I've learned to do that with my mind. And so what I realized is that it's really easy for me to just get into old habit patterns, to get into old ways of thinking, old ways of believing. And so when I wake up now, I really actively choose to look at life as a positive, loving, kind experience. It's really easy to look around us and just focus on the negativity. But when I wake up and I realize that I have an option, I have the decision to make as to whether or not I'm going to approach the world as giving me opportunity for joy and for happiness, or I'm going to look at myself more as being, a victim of circumstance and bad things happen to me, and, kind of that like negative thinking, which doesn't serve me at all. And it's not always easy to be in that mindset. I understand. And again, that's why I do a lot of work around that for myself and also with my clients. Like, it's a process to get yourself there. But what helps me on the daily is to wake up and say something like, all good things happen to and for me. Like, it's really that simple. And there's this other saying that I learned when I was in Mount Shasta. There's this idea that the mountain provides. And then when I was hiking on the Pacific Crest Trail, it was the trail provides. And I've kind of turned it into the universe provides. So when I say those things to myself in the morning, even when I wake up and I'm feeling nervous or stressed out or scared or insecure or whatever, when I tell myself all good things happen to and for me, all good things happen to and for me, all good things happen to and for me, and the universe provides, it really opens me up to the goodness of the world, to the opportunity, to the option of good things happening to and for me. Otherwise, I shut that door and I expect bad things to happen. I expect, like I'm kind of closing my eyes off to the goodness of the world. And I need to remind myself of that every day. I need to open up to that every day. And I swear to you, like, miracles have happened because of those sayings. And I encourage you to look around you every day and notice. I'm very big on animal totems, on spirit animal totems. I don't mean to be culturally appropriating in any way, shape, or form. But I know that what's helpful for me is when I learned that different animals have different meanings and messages in them, and you can easily look them up online. What I used to do when I was really cultivating a practice of gratitude and grace and connection with the universe, I would look around and notice when I was on walks or outside, like, what animal was I continually seeing, whether it was a blue jay, hummingbird, hawk, otter, bear, whatever it is. And then I can look up on my phone or when I get home online and look up spirit animal totem, and then whatever it is that I keep seeing, butterfly, frog, whatever. And there's always usually a message with that. And what I used to see a lot, and what I actually saw this morning before doing this video, which was so amazing to me. And I have feathers from the same bird in my car, and it really was popping out to me, was blue jay. And blue jay, in my experience, is about learning that we co-create our life, about accepting that, like, we need to ask for what we want to receive it, and that we are able to have what we want. We just need to say it out loud and to own it. So you can create your own life. You can co-create your life. And it was really beautiful to me that the universe showed up that way this morning, with the feathers, with actually seeing a scrub jay, a blue jay. And it was really such a great reminder. And that's what I have to do every day. And it was really beautiful because I was like, I have a lot of, different things that I've been stressed out about, but the universe has been showing up and showing me these signs. And so for me, it's like, I need to pay attention to that, because I'm like, all good things happen to and for me. Blue jay showed up, and I need to make a list of the things that I've manifested for myself and really, pay attention to that, because it's like a muscle. I can work that negativity muscle, and that will get stronger, and I'll see more and more reasons to feel negative. Or I can look at things in a positive way and actively decide, and act that all good things happen to and for me, and miracles happen. Miracles have happened, and they continue to happen, because I choose to believe that all good things happen to and for me. And that to me is the essence of being a badass manifester. When I do that, I'm actively choosing love. I'm actively choosing joy and happiness. And that's what's coming up. And that's what I've been creating more and more and more. And I've been experiencing more and more and more. So this stuff really, really works. I'm going to have different videos that I post on my Facebook group. The link is in the Instagram bio. I'm going to be interviewing friends, and we're going to be talking about this thing. I'm going to ask them how they've manifested joy and happiness in their life, about how they, have daily, what their daily, experiences, how they keep their vibe high and all of that. But for right now, I think I've talked enough, and I'm getting to the, it's been about a half an hour, which is good. But I just want to say, vision boards can help, affirmations can help, but really it's mainly about reminding yourself on the daily to surrender to the universe, and then the way the universe is going to bring things to you. That is one of the most powerful ways to be a badass manifester. You can make a list of the things that you want, the people, places, things, situations that you want in your life. And you can also realize, and I highly suggest realizing, that they may not show up in the specific way that you think that you want them to, or that they should. We tend to limit ourselves and think we can have this much happiness when the universe wants us to be infinitely happy. So we think that this thing is going to make us happy, when really this whole other thing could make us happier than we've ever known. We just never knew it. So when we open up and surrender to the universe, to the divine, to bring us whatever it is that keeps us happy, we're opening up to infinite possibility. And that's when true miracles happen. I never thought that I'd want to live in this town that I just moved to, but I love it here. It's amazing. It's totally perfect for me. And I never, ever, left to my own devices, would have ever thought about living here. And when I opened up to the universe showing me, I kept getting messages like, go to this place, go to this place, go to this place. And I'm like, all right, I guess I have to walk my talk, and I'm going to go and see what happens. And it's been amazing. It's been so incredibly beautiful and amazing. I'm like mind blown by all of the amazingness that's happened since I've moved here. And that had nothing to do with my mind. It had everything to do with me opening up to the divine. So I'm going to leave you with this last little idea, and I'm going to do a different video on this specific thing too. So stay tuned for that. But the idea of expectancy versus expectation. This is something I learned when I went to, I think it was a Unity church in the Bay Area. It's like Louise Hay stuff. It's all about, the power of positive thinking and that kind of stuff. But expectancy is more open. Expectations are very limiting. And those of you that may have heard, high expectations lead to high disappointment. So when we have expectations of people, when we have expectations of ourselves, when we have expectations of the universe, we tend to be thinking about the specific little thing that doesn't usually happen, and then we get disappointed. And we can add that to the list of the reasons the universe doesn't love us, that we're bad manifestors, that something's wrong. And it's just not true. It's just, that's an old habit pattern that we need to break. I need to break it, and I need to let that go. And so what I've shifted to, and what I encourage you to shift to, is the idea of having an expectancy of good, an expectancy of happiness, an expectancy of health and wealth and abundance. And that is totally different than, I expect this person to call me at this time. I expect money to come in this way. I expect this specific experience. I expect myself to be this, I expect like this particular thing. Like you can even feel it. Like that's very contracting and kind of harsh and judgy. It's like, I want that specific thing. Rather than, I just want to be happy. I want to be healthy. I want to be wealthy. I want to have an awesome life. It's very expansive and open. So I encourage you to make a list of things that you are wanting to manifest in your life, and then look at what the underlying emotion is about that, and really opening up to the expectancy of feeling that way. So if you want to feel abundant, if you want to feel purposeful, if you want to feel happy, if you want to feel joyful, if you want to feel inspired, open up to that, because it really opens up this expectancy of good things happening to you. And again, can seem like a very complicated, very frustrating process, especially if things have not been going your way, you know, like I get that. Like I've been in a place lately where I'm just like, things are not going the way I want them to. And then I remember, oh yeah, all good things happen to and for me. All good things happen to and for me. All good things happen to and for me. I'm even getting a tattoo of that, I think, on me, on my arm, to remind me of that, because I need to be reminded of that all the time. And when I remind myself of that, I open up my manifestation channels, and people call me, I get social invitations, I get clients and money, I get to go on a beautiful hike and walk, I see the most amazing sunsets, a beautiful song comes on the radio, like I'm back in the groove, I'm back in the flow. It just puts you, like Abraham Hicks always says, you know, you have to go downstream and be in the flow. We know when we're in the flow, when we're in the vortex, and when we're not. The way to get into the vortex is by trusting that all good things happen to and for you. And if you're having trauma come up, and if you're having a lot of stuff come up around like, oh, but this stuff happened and this stuff happened, and, you know, I'm having emotional whatever, get help around that. That's why there's therapists and all kinds of mental health professionals to help you process through that. And then you can get back to all good things happen to and for me. So, I am going to open it up. If there's any questions that anybody has right now, go ahead and ask them. You can type them into the comment box. And please, I encourage you to join the Facebook group. You're either already in it and watching this on Facebook, or you're on Instagram. Go to my bio. Join the link and join the Facebook group, because I'm going to be posting a lot of really powerful practices for you to put into place and to put into your life to really strengthen your connection to your own intuition, but really to learn how to trust the universe. I did not know how to do that for a long time, and it really limited my ability to manifest joy and happiness. When I finally learned how to trust the universe, so much goodness has come into my life. It's like overwhelming. I can't even probably think about it all, because it's just very intense. And plus, sometimes I have this, like, you know, perfectionistic thing, like, no, if I accept all the good in my life, I won't keep moving towards more good. But that's just not true either. So, and if you want to get on a call, this is what I do. This is my coaching work. I help people learn how to overcome previous traumas and overcome whatever karmic challenges that they're having to become a badass manifester, so you can manifest amazingness and joy and happiness in your life, so you can love yourself, so you can feel good. And even when challenges come up in your life, like my life has been really stressful lately, but as I was talking to my housemate last night, he's like, God, you're so happy all the time, and you're smiling, and you're bubbly, and you're outgoing, and you're so positive. And I'm like, I'm so happy to hear that, because I was just crying earlier and I was really stressed out, and I'm really stressed out about stuff, and I'm also happier than I've ever been, you know, and that is a product of all of the work that I've done to become a badass manifester. And that's what I love to help people do. I want to help you heal from the past. I want to help you access the power of your own intuition, the power of the universe. I want to help you access your own power and how to use it in a healthy way to manifest things that are healthy for you and in your highest and best, rather than continually to manifest the old stuff over and over again. I want to help you break your old habit patterns of negativity and to really tap into the power of positivity. And I want to help you do that in a way where there's no shame, there's no guilt, there's no fear, well, maybe there's some fear, but not self-deprecating stuff. I want to help you do this in a way where you're not beating yourself up anymore. You deserve to have a support system. You deserve to have an amazing life. And that's exactly what I'm here to help you with. So if you are at all interested in figuring out how to do that, let's get on the phone. It may not be with me. It might be with somebody else, but I am offering 10 free phone calls with people. I'll get on the phone with you for an hour and help you figure out what's coming up for you. Like, what is in the way of you manifesting your dreams? What is in the way of you feeling good about yourself? I can help you create a map to figure out how to overcome your procrastination, your self-sabotage, and how to really become a badass manifester and really create the life that you love. And again, it may be with me and it may not. I know a ton of coaches, I know a ton of healers, I know a ton of therapy stuff. I can help guide you in the right direction, but you need to make that decision for yourself to message me, send me a direct message, and we can set up a time to get on the phone. I mean, it's a free phone call for an hour. That's like unheard of. And I have 10 spots for that. And I also have coaching programs that, you might be interested in, but let's get on the call. I'd love to help support you. That's what I'm here to do. It's what I'm here on this earth to do, is to help support amazing people. And I needed help. I didn't know how to do all of this myself. I had to get on the phone with people and talk to people and be vulnerable and to share what was coming up with me, because and getting advice, like I've talked to coaches lately. And like I said in a different video, I told somebody what was going on with me. And for months, I had no idea, like, how do I approach this situation? I'm so confused. I told a coach about it, and in 5 seconds, she nailed exactly what I was doing that I needed to shift. And I was like, oh my God, if I just talked to her 2 months ago, I would have saved myself 2 months of frustration. And so that's what I'm offering to you. And that's what coaches offer. It's what a lot of us healers are offering, is a way to deal with your stuff in a much more efficient, much more kind, much more supportive and loving way. So you owe yourself that. So contact me. Let's get on the phone. Let's decide to be badass manifestors and decide that life is positive, and decide that we want to feel good about ourselves. So, so if you have any questions, go ahead. And I love, somebody just left a comment. It says they really needed to hear this today, and they've been manifesting certain things in their life. And yeah, as soon as you let it go, it'll come to you. Yes, exactly. And that's the thing. It's like, how do we learn to let that go? Oh my gosh, that makes me almost want to cry, because what does it take to really learn to let go? It takes belief in ourselves. That's what it takes. It takes knowing that you are inherently valuable and worthy and deserving of exactly what it is that you want. It may not be the specific house, and it may not be the specific person that you're thinking of, but knowing in the very depths of your soul, the very depths of your being, that you are worthy and deserving of every single thing that you've ever wanted, that's when things start showing up in your life. And that's what I'm committed to helping people access. And that's what I'm committed to tapping into for myself every day. I am valuable. I am amazing. I love myself. I support myself. I am my own best friend at this point. I have hit some bottoms recently where I'm just like, oh my God, I didn't know that that was possible. And yet I'm the one picking up the pieces. I'm the one getting myself back up on my feet. And so this is what it takes to be a badass manifestor, to not let anything take you down, to not give up, to keep going, to keep trusting no matter how hard it is and how challenging it is. You keep going because you believe in yourself and you know that you deserve better, and you are not going to give up until you get that. Do you know what I mean? Whether you have to go through so many counselors, or you have to work with so many coaches, or you have to give up so many old habits, you are willing to do that for yourself. That's the power that you need to access. And that's where you need to get to in order to manifest everything that you want. Now, it's not necessarily going to happen overnight. It could happen overnight. It could happen right now. I'm not going to say that's not possible, but if it doesn't mean anything's wrong. It just means you need help to work on that. And that is exactly what I'm here to do. So stay tuned, join my Facebook group, join all of this stuff, because you are worth it. I am so sick and tired of using my excessively infinite energy and strength to break myself down and to find reasons that my life is messed up and that there's things wrong with me. I'm so tired of that. There's so much things out in the world telling me that there's things wrong with me. Magazines, TV shows, the media, all this stuff. Like, all I hear about is women complaining about themselves and feeling bad about themselves, right? I'm so tired of that. I no longer choose to contribute to the culture of beating ourselves up. I right now commit 100% to being a force of self-love and encouragement. And I will do whatever I can to show up for myself in that way and to show up for you in that way. So if you don't know how to do that for yourself, tune into everything I got going on. I'm on Instagram. I'm on Facebook. I got coaching. I got so much happening. I really, really, really want to be a force of support and encouragement, because women, we need that. Men do too. I don't know what it's like to be a man in this world. I've only been a woman in this lifetime, so I can only speak to being a woman. But it really comes from us making that decision and deciding without any hesitation that we deserve more. We deserve better. That doesn't mean that you have to be at that level right now. Pretty much we all walk around with beliefs around not being good enough, not being pretty enough, needing to be better somehow. But you can also have the belief and the decision that you know that that's not true, and that you are willing to do whatever it takes to shift that belief and to start strengthening your belief in yourself and in your inherent worthiness and deservability. It's just like a muscle that you are choosing to work on. It can be that simple. And, there's, the idea of having the two wolves inside of us. Which one are you going to choose to feed? It's really up to you. And that's a part about being a badass manifester, is choosing to feed love, choosing to feed the part of you that believes in you, choosing to feed the part of you that is so, 100% committed to your growth and to your joy and to your happiness, that you can go through anything and you can get through it. And I know you can, because I've gone through hell, and in many different ways, and I am on the other side of it. And I seriously have a moment every day where I'm like, oh my God, my life is so much better than it used to be. I'm actually happy. I used to be a depressed, anxious mess when I was in my early 20s. And now I'm one of the happy, people comment on how happy I am all the time. That's just weird, that is a total miracle. So I really, 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 really highly encourage you all to join this movement of loving yourself, this movement of encouraging yourself, and this movement of creating a daily practice of self-love, of self-support, of self-encouragement. If it means covering up the mirrors in your house, cover up the mirrors in your house. If it means only listening to a certain podcast or a certain kind of music, do that. If it means not talking to certain people in your life, do that too. Do whatever it takes, because you are your most valuable possession. You are your most valuable relationship, and you are your most valuable investment. If you don't invest in yourself, no one else is going to invest in you. And if you don't take care of yourself, no one else is going to take care of you. It really is up to us to decide and to ask for help. Turn it over. Ask the universe to help you get to this place, and ask for the help to really, 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 really learn what is best for you and how to do that. So, and what I mean by that is, I used to think that I had to exercise a certain way, or I had to eat a certain way, or I had to be a certain way in order to be self-loving, because that's what someone else did that worked for them. No, that's not true. Sometimes I need to go on a run. Sometimes I need to do some yoga. Sometimes I need to sit on the couch and just hang out on Instagram. It's totally dependent. And it's so easy to compare ourselves to other people and think, I should do that. That person's happy. I should do what that person's doing. No, it's all about tapping into our own intuition. And this is a whole other subject that I'm getting into. This is what my next video will be about the importance of tapping into your own intuition as a means of self-love to really figure out what is best for you. And that is the next level of manifesting like a badass, is being able to access your own intuition and doing what's best for you, not what's best for someone else or what someone else says is best for you. So, all right. So I'm just going to leave you with a couple tips and tricks that you can use on the daily to help keep your vibe high, to help really strengthen that belief in your inherent worthiness and your deservability and your lovability and your beauty and your talent and your grace, which is that muscle we want to strengthen, right? So things that help me with that, and that I've noticed help other people around me and clients, and it's a lot of it's, kind of like universally accepted as really good for you. Exercise, yoga, meditation, journaling, art, drinking plenty of water, reading inspirational literature, not hanging around negative people, eating well, sleeping well. And something that's really helped me is taking really intensely nutrient dense superfood botanicals. And that has really helped me keep my vibe really high. So superfoods are amazing, raw food's amazing, but again, your diet is specific to you, so that's something you need to look at. But if you have questions about that, I can talk to you about that, on the side and maybe on a phone call. But something that I really encourage and that I love, because I'm a Pisces, and this is the last thing I'm going to leave you with, choose some music that you love and that will just like be as this coach Ingrid Arna. She's amazing. She's this Australian business coach. Talks about spirituality and she's amazing. She talked about this thing called a pattern interrupt, like really kind of like shaking people out of their normal pattern, like normal way of thinking, and really like kind of getting yourself like, oh, whoa, what's going on? What's happening? And so then you can actually be aware of truth rather than being in your own habit pattern. Music can do that for me. It's like I can be in the crappiest mood and all of a sudden I put this song on that has really positive lyrics and is just a great song. And all of a sudden it's like, oh my God, like the world is amazing again. I'm amazing. I am happy. Woo! Rather than like, crap, I have to do this thing. And, that's what music can do for me. So it's something I do in my coaching program. I send out a weekly playlist of amazing songs that are tuned into the theme for that week. So that's really fun, but I encourage you to do that for yourself. I have different playlists that I have. Like I have playlists that remind me the universe is amazing. I have playlists to remind me not to listen to what other people say. I have playlists that help get out anger. I have playlists that help me, get out sadness. And then I have really divine, more like meditation music kind of things that help calm my nervous system and calm my brain, because sometimes I need that too. I need the pump up music, but I also need the calming, autonomic nervous system activating music. So the relaxation music can come in handy. I've even run to that kind of thing because it's helped me just calm my brain down. So anyway, try that. Listen to some music. It's really easy. There's no judgment in music. Just have it on your phone, on your computer, in your car, like whatever. You can always pop in your earbuds and listen to some music. And it's a great way to pick yourself up and to really improve your mood and your vibe. And there's been times, again, where I was like, why isn't this thing happening? And I haven't heard from this person and blah, blah, blah. And then I'll just be like, okay, now I need to go for a walk and I'm going to put on some music. And I'm just like, and I just relax and I'm just like, la, 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 life is amazing. And guess what happens? People call, they text, things come through because I opened it back up to the universe and I opened it up to goodness coming my way. So that's what I got to say today. I really hope there was some kind of takeaway you got from this, even if it's just that you're amazing and beautiful and loving and loved and totally capable of accessing and creating the life of your dreams. You might just need some help getting there. So that's what I'm here to do. I'll be doing more of these. Please share these with your friends if you feel like they would benefit from it, because it's, again, this is free and it's a lot of support and inspiration and some tips that they can use for themselves. And yeah, just look for more of my stuff on Instagram and Facebook, and I'll be doing more videos. And again, next week, stay tuned. I'm going to be doing a Manifest Like a Badass program where Monday through Friday, every day, I'll be doing a little video and sharing with you a daily practice to keep your vibe high and to manifest something. So I want you to think about something that you're wanting to manifest in your life and to really get clear, maybe pray about it, ask to dream about it, ask the universe to show you something that would be good for you and helpful for you to work on next week. So stay tuned. I'll be doing some more shorter videos here on Instagram and on the Facebook Live. So join Join Facebook, and be on Instagram. Okay, I love you all. Big hugs, much love, and until next time, take really good care of yourself because you deserve it. All right, sorry, I like totally did not end my video. All right, much love you all.